Another day, another practice in the books for the Kansas City Chiefs. Today, we have a key update involving the Kansas City Chiefs injury report, and also, we had a surprising player retire, and of course, we got these young bucks out there making plays. So let's cut the chit chat and let's have some fun. The Kansas City Chiefs have wrapped up day 4 of their training camp, and we're going to kick this video off with the injury report. And now, when we discuss the Kansas City Chiefs injury report, the center of attention has been Kadarius Toney, and today he had his surgery. He posted on see, you stumble on a word like Instagram, it's gonna go places. But he posted on Instagram that the surgery went well, and he's gonna be back like he never left. That's all positive news. Now, we don't have any timetable on when Kadarius Toney will return, but as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I would anticipate that he's not going to be ready week 1. Now, cross my fingers and hope that he will be, but I would anticipate that he'll be back in September because it's his knee, and even though he could be healthy at that point, it's a point to also be in football shape, and I don't know if he'll be in football shape week 1, so that's something to keep our eyes on. And also, another player who has been on the Kansas City Chiefs injury report has been Isaiah Pacheco, and we're going to finally talk about the positives on this as he took his first reps on 7-on-7s. Still no contact, but he was out there, and that is a huge sign because Isaiah Pacheco mentioned early in the training camp, I'm saying early like it wasn't just 4 days ago, but early on that he was going to be ready for week 1. And this is all signs pointing in the right direction that he is right on his statement. So that's exciting to see, and I can't wait to see him maybe in a week or 2, and let's see what happens from there. But it looks like everything is going in the right direction. Now, I know they say Coach Reid's training camps are probably one of the toughest, if not toughest training camps in the league. But I didn't know they were that tough where it makes players want to retire. Now, I don't know if that's really the case, but today it was announced probably like 10 minutes ago that wide receiver John Ross, the speedster himself, officially announced his retirement. And it caught me off guard. I didn't anticipate that whatsoever. Now, I don't know what that may have led to. He has been with the Kansas City Chiefs since January when he signed his future deal. He has participated in minicamp and all the way through to training camp. He was excused today, and now we know why he was excused, because he retired. Now, I do understand John Ross has had an up and down NFL career with probably more lows than positives. But coming to the Kansas City Chiefs, it was going to be an uphill battle. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if he would have made the roster. In my initial input, I don't think he would have. And maybe that weighed his decision. Maybe he saw the talent all around him. He was like, I'm going to call it quits before it actually is quits. And he wrote his own into his story. Now, I wish nothing but the best for John Ross, even though he didn't live up to that 9th overall pick, which he was drafted right before Patrick Mahomes, which is crazy. He still made money. He got to live out his dreams in the NFL, and he will always go down until someone breaks that record as the fastest man to have a 40-yard dash in the NFL. So congratulations on your retirement, John Ross. We're going to discuss the injury report just a little bit longer because it's the perfect segue onto what I want to discuss next, and we're going to discuss Nick Bolton. Now, it's nothing serious, nothing crazy, but it did catch Chiefs Kingdom's eye when they saw Nick Bolton on the injury report. He was excused. He is just dealing with the illness today, and he should be back hopefully sooner rather than later. But why it segues perfectly is because the player we discussed yesterday, the newly addition Drue Tranquill, was the green dot. He was running around the field. He was the main linebacker today. And like I mentioned yesterday, that's exciting. I don't know what Drue Tranquill's role is on this team, and that's for a good reason, not a bad reason, because he can literally play any position in this linebacking core. He's going to be so much fun to watch. I really think he is a sleeper addition to this defense, and he's going to be a ball player. He's going to either get interceptions, get sacks, stop runs. He is literally your utility man. He's going to be all over the field. And the fact that he got the green dot today to replace Nick Bolton is a huge kudos to him. As I mentioned yesterday, Patrick Mahomes gave him the biggest compliment, saying that he already had to change up some of his nicknames on his plays because Drue Tranquill was reading them and calling them out. That is very impressive. That's how quick Drue Tranquill is learning this playbook and learning Mahomes at that. It's competition. Iron irons iron, and that's something you love to see at the end of the day. I think once we get into the regular season and in the postseason, Drew Tranquill is going to be something and someone that Chiefs Kingdom talks about from time in and time out. He's going to be an exciting player. Y'all better have your eyes peeled out for him. It's time. It's the reason y'all came here. As if the hype train hasn't left the station already, we're going to talk about Chiefs Kingdom favorite undrafted free agent, and it's Justyn Ross. And I can't lie, he's looking very, very impressive in training camp. It's back-to-back days where this dude just makes absurd catch after absurd catch. And if he can translate that into the preseason, he's going to see the field earlier than often, or whatever you call it. But he's going to be out there making plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think it's a question if he'll make the 53-man roster, because I think that's already solidified. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs chance that whatsoever. It's just, what kind of role will he have? Now, I see where he can be in small packages to start the season off and then kind of move along forward into November, December. He might have a primary role. This is why training camp and preseason is so crucial, because these players, that's when their roles get developed. Of course, you've heard me mention guys like Sky Moore, who I'm a big advocate about and who I think will be the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver one going forward. That's all going to shape out. And what's been great about this training camp, even though each and every one of these wide receivers we really know nothing about, and we have mentioned they are unproven, you haven't really heard a lick of bad thing about them. Every one of these wide receivers has been showing out, and that has been something so great to watch. And I see why Chiefs Kingdom loves Justyn Ross, because he is athletically a freak. And if everything pans out, he can be something really, really great in this league. I'm not going to go that next mile and say, oh, he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He's the Kansas City Chiefs #1 wide receiver this year. But can he make plays for the Kansas City Chiefs this year? Of course. But we just have to see what kind of role he gets moving forward and how it all shapes out. But you can definitely solidify that he's going to make it on the 53-man roster. I think he was going to make it regardless even before the Kadarius Toney injury, but now I think it's signed, sealed, and delivered. And we're still going to focus on the wide receiver room, because someone who really benefits off of the Kadarius Toney injury is Richie James. And honestly, out of all the receivers, as I said, they've been getting hyped like crazy and they've been doing their part. But Richie James has been showing out, and he may be the most impressive wide receiver in the camp so far, and showing, hey, I'm here to play and I'm here to do my role. And if anyone can replicate just a little ounce of what Kadarius Toney can do, you put Richie James in that position, because I think that's going to be your substitute to where he's going to give you that same production. Hopefully. I'm not saying he's as talented as Kadarius Toney, but also he's talented. He can make plays. And today, the Kansas City Chiefs unleashed a trick play where, I almost said Kadarius Toney, where Richie James, lefty Richie James, threw like a 40-yard pass to MVS. Now, do I think the Kansas City Chiefs will implement this into next season? Who knows? I think right now it's to keep the defenses on the toes, because they know this tape gets leaked out. So for teams like the Lions, the Jaguars, the early on season opponents, now they got to script it up and hope the Kansas City Chiefs don't burn them with that type of play. And the Chiefs probably don't even call it early in the season. But the Kansas City Chiefs got Richie James, of course, Patrick Mahomes, Sky Moore used to be a quarterback, Travis Kelce we know used to be a quarterback, and Jet McKinnon used to be a quarterback. If they want to do trick plays, they got the players to make those kind of plays. So if you thought this offense was fun and electrifying last year, it may be up to a whole new level this year. And to close this video off, I gotta talk about it, because it seems like a lot of people forgot about him. I know y'all didn't, because it's all reliable himself and Travis Kelce. And today, he still got that shiftiness, and he may still got a little speed on him as well, because he was making swivel moves all around Brian Cook throughout the field, and you could tell he wanted to lay a stiff arm on him. That was such a beautiful play. It honestly reminded me of the play against Jalen Ramsey when the Kansas City Chiefs played the LA Rams last year too. We all question the receiving core, but at the end of the day, if Travis Kelce is healthy, he is your wide receiver #1. And it's been, 10 years, and the league hasn't had an answer to him. So there's no need to be concerned, because he's 33 going on 21. To see him still moving like that and outrunning all these young dudes, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with for a few more years. So that's a great connection that I don't think is going anywhere anytime soon, and it's going to be so much fun to watch. You guys question about what the wide receiver core is doing. That tight end group, they will get their receptions and they will produce on this offense as well. And I'm not just talking about Travis Kelce, because the likes of a guy like Noah Gray, who has been having a great camp and ended the season off strong. And then, of course, Jody Fortson, who has been Mahomes' favorite weapon in the red zone in training camp, just rallying in touchdowns. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to find ways to get yards and get touchdowns. Don't sleep on this offense, because Coach Reed always has the answer. And with that, Chiefs Kingdom, I'm going to close out this video. But before I do, please be sure to hit that big thumbs up if you did like this video. And please do subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. With that, I'm checking out. Y'all take care. Peace.